Two luxury properties, same city, identical star ratings, same thread count on the sheets, yet guests pay a 40% premium for one while the other struggles. This discrepancy is found in the psychological threshold of the first 5 minutes. Follow Hoteliers IQ for more powerful hospitality insights. Millions are poured into room renovations, imported Italian marble, and high-end beds. However, human psychology engages long before a guest reaches the bedroom. The industry's massive blind spot is the belief that the guest experience begins at check-in. This timeline graph maps a guest's emotional perception over the first 10 minutes of arrival. Notice the sharp spike. The critical evaluation of property quality, where a guest subconsciously justifies their room rate, occurs within minutes of arrival. If a hotel loses the guest emotionally in the lobby, the finest amenities in the world cannot salvage the brand perception. Luxury is an experience that begins at the property line. A guest's arrival is a physical transition. They're exiting a high-stress, unpredictable outside world and entering a curated sanctuary. Friction at the perimeter, confusing parking signage or a cluttered driveway, establishes a negative emotional baseline. At this moment, the guest is still carrying their travel stress, and they are already projecting it onto the brand. Premium properties prioritize a seamless handoff, a valet opening the door before the engine shuts off, or a bellman anticipating the physical burden of luggage lowers a guest's psychological defenses. Removing the physical weight of the bags initiates the emotional transition. Arrival logistics function as a psychological airlock. These systems engineer the shedding of outside stress before the guest ever approaches the desk. The moment a guest crosses the threshold of the hotel's front doors, they encounter an engineered sensory shift. Scent particles flow directly into the brain's limbic system, the center for emotion and memory. Bypassing rational filters, this establishes an immediate subconscious memory. Signature scents create a baseline of comfort accepted as truth before a guest even speaks to staff. Lighting manipulation reinforces this. Shifting from harsh outdoor sunlight to warm, directional indoor illumination is a deliberate tactic to lower the guest's heart rate and signal safety. The premium hotel lobby operates as an invisible sensory machine, meticulously calibrated to force physiological relaxation within seconds. The guest now approaches the front desk, the final stage of this 5-minute gauntlet. Most hotels settle for transactional greetings, where staff are tethered to monitors and keyboards. Emotional architecture requires something different: immediate recognition, sustained eye contact, and absolute presence. This visualization shows the intelligence behind a premium desk. While the staff maintains eye contact, automated systems handle ID verification, room assignment, and payment processing in the background. Offloading these mundane data entry tasks to invisible automation frees the staff's cognitive load. This freedom allows for genuine human connection. The staff can focus entirely on making the guest feel anticipated, which is the highest form of hospitality. Using technology to make the process invisible maximizes the emotional impact of the greeting. The guest feels recognized as a person rather than processed as a data point. Parking, scent, lighting, and the human greeting interlock to form an invisible web of psychological influence. When the first 5 minutes are this meticulously curated, the guest's perception of value is anchored at the highest possible level. This psychological anchor reduces price sensitivity. If the arrival feels invaluable, the room rate becomes a secondary concern. This emotional imprint is what drives guests to bypass third-party booking sites. They return directly to the property to recapture that specific feeling of sanctuary, a feeling that an OTA cannot provide. Mastering this sequence creates a barrier to entry that competitors cannot replicate through hardware alone. Hospitality is the architecture of a guest's immediate emotional state. Like this video if it changed your perspective on the lobby experience. Share this with a hotelier who needs to see the intelligence behind the arrival, and follow Hoteliers IQ for smarter hospitality insights.